Hey, it's the Ancestral Connector. Bear with your girl, cause this is my first video, and I'm nervous. I might be a little mush mouth, but bear with me. So, what I'm coming with y'all today is, I want to discuss reasons why someone would want to do DNA testing and misconceptions, whatever, that people have about doing it. And so, a reason that I've come across with people within my own family is just concerns on what they do with your DNA after doing DNA testing. So just like, possibly being cloned. And I laugh, but technology is big wild these days, so you never know. You utilizing it for scientific reasons of different sorts. And so what I will say is that Ancestry and possibly 23andMe, for sure, ask you if you are okay or willing to participate in having your DNA submitted for research purposes. So they ask you, and you can say yes or no. Could they utilize your stuff anyways? I mean, maybe. But my whole thought process in that is that, you know how much we've donated. Some people have donated blood. Some people donate plasma. We then given urine samples, blood samples to hospitals, and had surgeries. Like, does anybody ever think about what happens to that stuff? Like, what do they do with that? What do they do with organs that they've taken out? What do they do with our placentas? And like, if they really wanted to access our DNA, like, they could, and we would never know. So just to be concerned about submitting your DNA to a DNA site, I mean, it's a fair concern. But I just feel like if they wanted it, they could have it. Another concern that people have is that they don't want to deal with the police. And so there is actually some truth to this. There's several DNA sites, but GedMatch, they fuck with the police. And so they let you know that, though, before uploading your DNA site. And so the police use GedMatch to identify criminals. And so there's this show called The Genetic Detective. And it's about this lady named C.C. Moore. She's a forensics genetic genealogist. And so she uses genetic genealogy to identify criminals. In a popular case that she used forensics genetic genealogy is the Golden State Killer. She solved that case. And so it's crazy how technology has grown, because they have all kinds of DNA stored from, like, back in the day, from criminals. Just say they didn't know what to do with it. They just was like, okay, we gonna save it. So now here we are, fast forward all these years later, and now we have genetic genealogy, and now they're solving cold cases from years ago. And so if you're concerned about you or a family member of yours being found caught up in some shit they shouldn't have been doing anyways, don't submit your DNA to GedMatch. That's the only one to be worried about. all the other ones, Ancestry, 23andMe, ftdna, like all of those sites, they don't fuck with the police. At least as for now. January 16th, 2024. So there is that. Something else is, sometimes people don't want to be bothered with other people or just want to be discreet. And so with these sites, you don't have to use your name. Like when I created my Ancestry, I created a username. I never uploaded my photo. Actually, I think I might now though. I never uploaded a photo. People only knew my name once I messaged them and knew what information that I gave them. These sites, Ancestry for sure, has it set up to a point to where even you can control if people can message you or not. And at any given point, you could delete your results. You can delete your account. Like, you could be as discreet or open as you want to be. It's your world. The people is living in it. And so that's where we are, just not wanting to concern zone coming across people or, just wanting to be low-key about it. Another thing is that people feel like Ancestry is not real. Some people feel like the results aren't accurate. And here's what I have to say about that. These results are as accurate as Maury's test. And that's what bugs me. How you could believe in Maury's test. You got faith in Maury's test and all them. Anyways, the results are real. They're accurate. I can attest to that. I didn't know who my father was. Didn't know a name. Didn't know any family members. And I was able to use genetic genealogy to create trees, follow lineages, and I was able to identify them and meet them and all that. And my family. And so, excuse me. It's accurate. Like, I knew nothing. Like, I thought my last name was his last name. Wasn't. I look like the man. Like, if I showed you a picture of him, like, copy, paste, paste, because I look like my brothers. Or my brothers look like me because I'm older. But, the shit's accurate. Now, I will say, in some cases, people discover information that is life-shifting. And so sometimes people will take the test and they'll find out that their parents are their parents. And, more oftentimes it's the dad, but sometimes it's the mom too, because adoptees will take these tests and discover that their biological parents are their adopted parents. And so it's like information like that, or, just big wild stuff that's life-shifting. I can understand why someone would want to, it's easier to be content with the reality that you've lived in. You don't want to think of someone being deceptive or, lying to you, or just, your life just being a lie. And I get it. It's just easier to live in denial than to face reality. And, but at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, whether you want to admit it or not, facts are facts. And to say that something's not accurate because it doesn't reflect your reality is bullshit. I mean, it's hurtful, but it's bullshit. So those are the main misconceptions that I have, or concerns that people may have when doing genetic, or not genetic, but DNA testing. At the end of the day, I want to bring reassurance, but I also believe that you shouldn't do anything that you don't feel comfortable with. So if you genuinely just don't feel comfortable doing it, don't do it. It's okay. But if you have any concerns that maybe I could help you with, leave them in the comments, and maybe I could find answers or resolutions to whatever, questions, concerns that you may have that have you apprehensive on doing it. Anyways, love, peace, and chicken grease.